Gonna start off today. Got a bunch of stuff I need to get out of my bus. We're gonna take the dually over there and load the bed up. This thing hasn't started in over a week. Oh, I don't like the cold. The truck does not have a working grid heater. Gotta sit and let it warm up a minute. Got a bunch of stuff cleaned out of there and loaded up. This thing was already about half full from the last round of work on this, but it leaves me time to head to the dump now. Well, Monday. They're closed on the weekend, but now we got a little more room to work in there. Alright, well, we at least have some room to move here. I need to get all this plywood moved, but when I do that, I pretty much got myself blocked out of my bedroom back there, so before we do that, I need to go grab my impact driver out of there for some batteries, a few other things. And then we can get the stuff moved back. I need to get that sheet of plywood pushed all the way forward and screwed down for the subfloor. And then I think I'm going to move everything that's over here. I need to go through my materials. Kind of made a mess going through this morning, getting rid of stuff. But get all that stuff moved up there. Then these two sheets of foam will get cut down to go on the subfloor. And these two sheets of plywood are already cut to width to fit. So at least try to get the next full sheet in. I don't know that we're going to do the last one. It's going to take a lot of cutting. That one might wait because I still need to work on making this panel removable. It is going to be back in the bus once finished, but it's going to have to be able to come out to get like my refrigerator in and stuff like that. So I need to work on that, figuring out how this thing comes out of here, or how to get it out of here and then make it so I can reinstall it. I'd love to have it so that, you know, 6 or 10 bolts hold it in, so that if I needed to change out a refrigerator, or move my couch in, stuff like that, that this thing would be able to come out relatively easily, but then come back in because I love the look of it. But I'd like to get the subfloor down so I don't have to keep moving stuff around, because it's nice to be able to just sit everything off and leave it. Also, it's going to help insulate, so we'll get that done. I've got more wall insulation to go on this side. I've got a ton more wall insulation to do on that side. We can work on insulating the ceiling. Just a bunch of stuff like that would be really nice because it's like 27 degrees outside, which actually, it's comfortable in here. It's about 55 in the front of the bus, and I don't have heat in the front half of it right now. The bedroom's heated, the bathroom's heated, the bay under the bathroom is heated. And it holds temperature very nicely in here. I mean, you'd be more than comfortable in a long sleeve shirt up here. And that's before I get the mini split running up here, but for right now, start messing with some of that stuff. I need to go back and trim that board off that we used to help mount the wall in. Just a bunch of little stuff like that. But first, a little more cleaning, a little more organizing, and we can actually get to doing some work. Alright, so I moved the tools over for probably the 1000th time. Now I got to run the shop vac over all this, make sure everything between that gap is nice and clean and ready to go. So we'll get this thing tapped over, get this subfloor screwed down. While I'm doing that, Dad started working down this wall, getting some insulation in, because separate area kind of out of the way right now, and can get that done while I'm working on getting this piece of subfloor ready. Insulation's going pretty well. I'm gonna have to say this again because I know people are gonna be complaining in the comments. This is not the only layer of insulation. We are doubling insulation, so we're trying to use scraps all through the first part just so we can get more insulation, go a little bit further with stuff that we normally wouldn't be using. So I still gotta pick up these materials. Some more trash here because I started pulling out more of the shades, all the offcuts from that. We're gonna sweep the floor up in a second here once we get the stuff picked up, and then we'll start laying subfloor forward again. Alright, we got the next section of subfloor down and screwed in. I want to come back and put a few more screws in it, but it'll work for right this minute. This last section up here, it's going to be kind of fun to do. We've got wheel wells at the back of the seat. We got this stuff going on. I think what we're going to end up doing is kind of running it straight because the couch is going to get built in over here. So the edge of that's not going to be too big of a deal. And I think we're talking about building an entertainment center in over this section, over the wheel well, to make it a little more straight and not have to try to get the curve of that floor done. So we'll just insulate under there. And then right up in here will be where my TV sits for the living room. Same thing as before. Make it so it hooks down to the floor with a couple screws. So if I got to get bigger stuff in through the door, that will be removable. This can be removed. We can still easily load stuff in and out. Well, subfloor got done. Got the next two panels of ceiling insulation up. I do need to run a piece of tape down the seam up here. I got the next piece sitting out. That's going to get cut and go up through here. But I think next up I'm going to get some spray foam out. I've got some stuff down here that needs to get done. Get in the ribs, insulate it up real quick. And then probably call it time for lunch. When we get back, I'd love to start building half walls out today. And maybe see if I can get some electrical started to get run through this side of the bus. Well, it got dark out, and I only had one 2x4. So I went ahead and ripped it down, because that's how we're doing these walls. So now that we have that, it's going to go one strip there, one here. I have a few pieces like this left over that I can use for the vertical sections between it, at least enough to get this one up in there. I can go back and add more later. I'm going to have to run and go get 2x4s, but the roads are already starting to ice up out there, and nothing against any of you guys from the south, but I haven't fully trusted you guys in winter weather yet. I normally would drive in this and not have a problem, but I'm kind of worried about other people, so I'll wait till tomorrow when the roads are decent to go to town to go get some more 2x4s. But it'll at least let me get this section started. I can get some insulation in, maybe, depending on how many pieces I can find for vertical sections. But it's behind the couch, so I shouldn't need that many right there, because there really shouldn't be anything pressing against the wall. But I need to make sure that I have enough to get my outlet mounted, because I want to put an outlet towards this end where my couch will be, so that we'll have power at the couch, and kind of whatever area this is going to turn into. I haven't fully decided yet. Alright, so I got the first piece up. It is screwed in and construction adhesive onto the wall. So next I need to do a little bit of measuring, see where I'm going to put the bottom one. If this stainless is straight, which it should be, I'll probably use that as my guide of where I'm going to set the bottom piece. Set it level to there, and then just do vertical sections between there. But I gotta see how much material I have. I at least want to get one at each end and one in the center for right now. One on the end here is where I'm going to mount my outlet, so that's not going to be a problem for me to get that mounted. A little harder than I thought it was going to be to do this by myself. Dad asked if I wanted help on this earlier. I'm like, no, I'll just do it later tonight when I have nothing else to do. Definitely would be nice to have a second person to hold them, but it's doable. Well, we had less scrap than I thought. So these two pieces will fit up in there. I should have enough to make two legs with two spacers, so we'll do one at each end. I've got a third piece, which is clearly too short for here, but I can do another one down to the floor. And those are kind of going to stop right past that filler deck right there and right about the wheel well. I mean, they can't go any farther anyway. That's where my floor stops right now. So the bottom will be good. The top will be missing some. But like I said, I didn't want to go to the store tonight. And looking at the weather tomorrow, we're supposed to get like freezing rain, and it's going to turn to like snow and stuff. So I'll probably just wait. I might run into the local hardware store and go grab a couple 2x4s tomorrow, because that's really all I need to make a lot more progress. Just a couple 2x4s, and I don't think it's worth the money to save to drive an hour to town to go get them. We'll see. Well, damn, I'm striking out tonight. Couldn't do the bottom ones like I want to, because that's against the metal. So I'm gonna need to, cut this, not like that, but at an angle to get to it flush against there. I've got one on this end, one on that end. Went to go do my outlet. First thing, I'm out of the metal strips that you put over the 2x4 so you don't screw into your wire. And the only non-metal outlet box I have right now is one of these that mounts to a panel, like flush to the outside. And I don't really want to use one of those here. I want one that ties into the board. So I'll have to grab one tomorrow, because I'm not going to waste one of the metal ones I've got for down in my bay. But that wire is going to run down this wall. I still have to finish the rest of this section of wall, so it's just kind of laid out for right now. Not a huge deal. It's going to tie into the one that's back there in the hallway, and that one's going to go down into the bay. So that's where this side of the bus is going to get power from. I think I'm only going to do 2 outlets on this wall. I thought about doing 3, but what am I going to have plugged in between there and here in a hallway? I mean, there's already one out in the hallway. There's one here. There'll be 4 of them right there. 2 more right here at the end of the counter, which are going to have separate breakers, so you can cook on either side. I'm at least going to have 2 more over where the entertainment center is. Possibly another 2 right there. I haven't really decided yet. I know one thing I've thought is that if I'm going to do it, I'm going to put more than I think I'm going to need now, because it's going to suck to go back and add them later. That's why with my bedroom, there's 3 of them right now. And right now in the temporary stage, my TV in there is going to be the most electronics are going to be in there, because that's going to get moved out here, and I'm not going to have that in there. That's going to be a closet. But, oh well, it's progress. We got more done today. It's always a good thing. My goal is only to get the subfloor down and finish installation, so the fact that we're already starting to build out the next wall makes me pretty happy. But we'll go get some more materials and hop back on it. I might get on it tomorrow, otherwise it'll probably be Monday or Tuesday before the next one.